Today we are discussing about the principles of effective communication. As you know, it's very, very important to make someone understand your point of view, whether you are talking to them or whether you are writing for them. Your message should be clear. It should have some logic, reason, meaning, information, knowledge in it. When you are talking uselessly, when you are beating about the bush, when you are adding unnecessary details to your message, when you are talking too long, in the other person would lose interest in your speech, in your writing. So you need to follow certain principles to make your communication strong. There's the concept of 7 C's in effective communication. 7 C's are very, very important, and everyone should follow them in their writing and in their speaking, so that maximum objectives of communication should be achieved while they are talking to someone or while they're writing for someone. The very first thing is clarity in your communication. Your message should be very, very clear. The moment someone starts reading you or the moment somebody starts listening to you, they should be able to comprehend what are you saying, what is your message. Your message should not be too lengthy. It should be very, very clear. It should have something to say. It should have something to inform. It should have some knowledge in it. So a good style of communication is always easy. It's always clear. Don't try to use high frequency words. There's a misconception. People say that when you are using high frequency words, when you are using rich vocabulary items in your speech and in your writing, you are trying to impress people. It could be a kind of show-off technique, but when you can easily replace a complicated or a tough word with a simple and easy word, you should do that, because your purpose is to make someone understand you instead of making them confused and putting them in the situation where they are stuck with high frequency words or bombarding of the words which you have done in your communication. They would not be getting any idea out of that. Rather, they would go for the dictionary, or maybe they would stop reading your message, or maybe they would just noticing all those difficult words you are writing, you're speaking. So they would be stuck in that, and they would not be focusing on the actual meaning of your communication, of your speech, or of your writing. So use short, easy and familiar words. And when you're speaking, your pronunciation should be very, very clear. Don't try to be affectitious. Don't try to fake your accent. Be original. Be natural when you are speaking. And when you are writing, your vocabulary should be easy so that your target receiver should get the message easily. Then you should avoid jargons. You know, what are the jargons? Are the registers? They are the technical words specified for a particular profession or writing. If you're using unnecessary jargons in your writing, expectation is the same, that they would lose interest and they would not be able to find the meaning. Then cliches. Avoid using the terms which have lost their meaning and they have been overused, and with the passage of time they don't have that freshness in them. Stop using them. Don't use words with multiple meanings. When some words which have multiple meanings, they lead to confusion. The second C is conciseness. Concise means short, brief. Try to say your point of view, express your point of view in fewest possible words. You should not ignore the meaning. You should provide details. You should add all the relevant information to it, but try to be very, very brief. You know what Shakespeare said, that brevity is the soul of wit. So the more you would be brief, it would be easier for your recipient to get what you are saying. A concise message is good for both speaker, writer, and for the recipient, because it saves time, money, and time as well. So there are different ways of making your message concise Avoid repetition, don't use negative terms, don't use wordy expressions, don't talk irrelevant, don't add prefaces. So only focus on the relevant material. Then comes completeness. What does complete mean? It's which contains all facts and details which your recipient is asking for. Then your message will be considered complete when somebody is seeking any particular information and your message has all those relevant things. Your message is complete. So providing necessary information, answering all questions, describing what, why, when, where, how. All W questions should be answered. When you are writing or when you're speaking, you should have this thing in your mind that you have to reply and satisfy your recipient with all W questions. Every what, when, where, who, why, how much, when should be answered clearly. Then comes consideration. What is consideration? When you are saying something and when you're writing something, you should consider your recipient, your receiver. You should know who is going to decode. That person should be in your mind, their background, their educational background, their academic background, their social background, their gender, their age, their social status. Everything should be in your mind. So it would be easier for you to select your language, your vocabulary, your attitude, and then you would be able to have a positive rapport with them. You would be able to emphasize on pleasant facts, and you would be delivering your message with more focus. Then comes correctness. Correctness is you should be using right level of language as far as your writing. Your language should not have any punctuation, spelling, grammatical mistakes. Your message should be syntactically and grammatically perfect. But when you're speaking something, your message should be focusing on facts, figures, and words. Whatever you are saying, they should be rechecked that you have delivered correct information to your recipient. Then comes courtesy. Courtesy is when you show politeness, love, respect to your recipient, whether that's your reader or your writer. So you should be very, very soft, you should be gentle, you should be polite, you should be thoughtful. You use expressions which show respect, which show positivity, which shows kindness. Use courteous words like please and thank you. Then comes last but not least, concreteness. In concreteness, we are focusing on the solid details. You should use vivid image building words. You should use solid figures. Try to use action verbs. Try to use words which appeal to all five senses. It is said that don't tell them, show them. So use powerful words so that they can get the information easily. Your message should be convincing. Your message should be informative. It should have some knowledge in it. Hope everything is clear to you and you would be able to use all 7 C's in your writing and in your speaking. God bless you all.